Welcome back to my channel, Myline here. Today I wanted to show you how I make a couple of Halloween embellishments. I actually watched videos by I'm a Cool Mom, and she made these frame shakers, and she cut the frames out with, I think, her silhouette, but I'm not sure. And I figured I could do that with my Cricut too, so that's what I did. All the frames that are laying on my desk I cut out with the Cricut, and I cut a piece of acetate, but you can use like the plastic that is left over from stickers. You can use that too, and I glue that on with double-sided tape. And I had a bit of a hard time here because the tape was a little wider than my frame was. So I cut the tape in half. That made it a little easier to get it on the frame. So once you got the tape on, you put the acetate on there. Okay, and that's done. And now I'm taking about 4 of the frames that I cut, and I'm gluing them all together so that it won't be messy with foam tape, because if you use foam tape, it really has to be tight against each other, against tape against tape. Otherwise, your glitter or whatever you use can fall out easy. So I'm using all these frames, so it makes it a little thicker, and I'm very precise. So every edge has to match the other edge that it's glued on. But I'm doing okay, I think. Excuse me. And when the last frame is put on the rest, I try to make the acetate a little less static. You can use a dryer sheet for that, I was told. I tried, but my dryer sheet found it necessary to leave odd stripes, so I hope it doesn't really show. But I think I'm good, because when it was done, I didn't see any weird stripes or anything in there. So now it's all glued together, and you can see that it's a little thicker. So I get my Halloween sequin mix out. There's a lot of stuff in there, like bats. I have here, it's in a dark purple, and there are skulls in there, and spider webs, and all those tiny little sequins. And I'm adding some sugar coating glitter by Doodlebug in it. Always gives a nice look. And it's a lot of fun to make these, actually. And I also cut out the back of the frame with my Cuttlebug, but it's a little too wide, so I decided to cut some of the pieces, some of the sides off, and now it fits better. So we glue that on, and if you don't have a Cricut, it's not so hard to make your own frame. You can use a rectangle or a square and just cut some out in the middle. I admit it's a little harder to get the scalloped edges, but if you have a decorative pair of scissors, you can always make fun shaped edges on the outside. Well, and that's a finished one. I did that before already, just trying it out. And I bought those sticker shapes in a huge box at the Dollarama this morning. And some have glitter on them, some don't. But I liked that star. And here's another embellishment that I made. I watched this video by, oh gosh, I don't know her name. See if I can find her channel. The Scrappy Bookworm 1. That's her channel. And I'll copy a link down below from her channel and also from I'm a Cool Mom. So I got this spiderweb stamp and a spider stamp. I bought those a couple of years ago by Michael's, I think. They were all for $1. All those, they were tiny stamp sets. They have words and they have like the spider web and the skull. But I liked this idea. You just punch circles from colored cardstock. I used my 1-inch circle punch, and then I used linen distress ink to stamp the spider web on, because I didn't want it to stand out so much. And then the spider I just stamped with black ink, and it looks kind of cool, I must say. And I used my white gel pen to give the spider some tiny white eyes. And this gel pen must be good because it's still white. Usually if you use a gel pen it fades and you don't see a lot anymore, but with this one it stays pretty white, so that's good. And then excuse me, I already punched out 2 scallop circles with my 1.5-inch punch. They're both by Recollection, so I bought them at Michael's. And I'm cutting some foam tape and put that under the colored circles. And you can use tweezers or just by hand to try to get them in the center. I tried to do it by hand. It wasn't so easy, but I think it came out pretty good. And there is the orange one. This is actually pretty fun to do. I love making these embellishments, and I want to do a lot more. So I got my liquid pearls. This is the silver, and I'm skipping a scalp in the circle the whole time. And of course, when I'm doing it on camera, I get these weird blobs out of my bottom, but usually you can fix it. It's not so hard. And then for the one that has the purple circle on it, I wanted to use it's a 3D paint. So yeah, there we go, blob. A whole blob of the purple came out. So thank goodness I could get that off. And then it wouldn't come out right away, so I kind of decided to get another liquid pearl out, a white one, and skip a scallop every time again, and that just gives it a little more dimension. You can use tiny little gemstones if you have those, but I love my liquid pearls and it makes it so easy. It's done pretty fast, except when you kind of make mistakes like I do here the whole time, but I fixed it, so that's all good. And then I typed some Halloween words on my computer and printed it out, like boo and creepy and eek and ghosts, Fright Night, I think, skulls, witch, and I printed that out So I can make my own word flag banners. Just cut a little flag on the end, and then I use my distress ink after I cut these banners to ink up the edges, black soot, if I pronounce that right, I'm not sure. And that gives it a more distressed look. That's why it's called distressed ink. Haha. I use my tweezers to hold the tiny piece of paper because it's really small. And inking up takes a little time. And I talk faster than my video goes, so bear with me. And then I forgot to cut the last piece off the blue, so I had to do that still and ink that part up a little bit. And then you use just some liquid glue, and of course one of the pieces of the banner that I cut off fell in the liquid pearls, so I use a liquid glue to add the word. And next time I think I'm gonna try and stamp that spider a little more up, so that there's a little more room for the word, unless you do like I did now, turn it around so the spider goes down, and then the word is done. And I made a couple already before I started to make a video of it, and I think they turned out pretty cool. I like the black one, like the one that says Eek, that has the spider web in black, but the other ones with the linen color, it's a little lighter. It makes it makes the spider stand out more. So yeah, that's what I made, and thanks for watching and have a great day.